Hello and welcome back to another week of our challenge, and this is me getting started again. So this video is going to cover weeks 10 and 11 because we had a little pause while we had some things to deal with at home. There is a different video on that, so I'm not going to get into it in this video, but this is me restarting the challenge. So we are back on £25 for this week. It's actually Sunday. I normally go shopping on a Tuesday, and I've decided that I'm going to go on Sunday this week because we need everything for this coming week for packed lunches and things like that. So I'm going to start getting myself organised, thinking about what we need for the week ahead, take you guys along a little bit. It'll only be a shorter video because this will be coming out on Wednesday. I'm going to get back into the Wednesday releases, but it will probably be Sunday to Monday. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. No, Sunday to Saturday, not Monday. Anyway, in the kitchen this morning, I've just had a little tidy up from last night because there was still pots to do. They're just soaking in the sink because there was no water when I got up this morning, and I don't have a menu plan. I don't have anything in for lunches. You know, I'm just getting into it again, getting started again. So you're coming with me as we go through all of those thoughts. It's quite a bit to catch up on. So I'm going to get these pots washed, gather my thoughts to talk to you guys about. I've got the laptop out to look at some recipes. I've got my recipe books. I've had a harvest day in the garden yesterday because I'm getting back out there now. So there's some good things to get used up. And I need to get to Aldi for about 10 o'clock. It's early on now, well, early as in for a weekend. So let's get organised together. While we're watching me wash the pots, I thought I'd take the opportunity to tell you about the dresser in the background there. This was in the utility room. It was a find that we got on Marketplace, really cheap, and I absolutely love it. We couldn't find anything to go on those walls that we've been looking for, and I suddenly had a light bulb moment when I was seeing what somebody had done on Instagram, and we brought the dresser in, and oh my goodness, I'm absolutely in love with it. I think it matches the kitchen perfectly. Very pleased with how that turned out. I got one of these, it's been stained by bleach. I got one of these little mats from Wilkinson or something, just to put on the countertops to use. You're wonky there, sorry. Just to use when I'm doing the dishes, because with having these wooden worktops, we don't want to get them wet at all, because even though they've got like a finish on them, obviously wood, that's really bugging me. Let's come over there. Yeah, the wood just soaks up the water and obviously ends up looking a right old mess. I ended up buying this. It was cheap as chips. It was like £8. I've lost my other one. I don't know where it is. So being me, I didn't want to go and pay again a decent price. When I say decent, like, it was only £25. You can get ones that are like hundreds of pounds, I believe. And I don't know where it is, and I wouldn't pay out for a new one, and now I've got a wonky stick. Right, what we're going to do next is sit down, have a little chat, maybe a wonky chat because you're going back on there, and work out what we're going to do for this week. I've decided that I'm going to do the menu plans Monday to Sunday again. It just works out better, I think. The Tuesday was because we started the challenge on a Tuesday. We did go shopping on a Tuesday previous to the challenge a lot. It's lovely and quiet in Aldi. I can do my filming, I can go around in peace. You know, not everybody else is in there. When you go on a Sunday, I might change my mind obviously after I've been shopping today. When you go on a Sunday, you know, it's busy, there's lots of other people in there. We'll see how it goes, but at the moment, at least for this week, I'm going to menu plan Monday to Sunday. The weekends, I really need to make sure that I have something planned in for, because that's when we end up saying, we'll just go and get something to eat. We don't eat as well, and we really need to get back into, I want more nutrient-dense food, using up the freezers, you know, back to what I was saying before, because we fell off the wagon. We didn't fall off, well actually we did. For those of you that knew what happened to Stephen, that was not intended. We got off the wagon by choice because we just couldn't do this as well as deal with everything else. So let's go and have a look what's in the freezers to start off with, to see what we're working with this week. Right, so this is one freezer. This, I don't know what that is, where that's come from, but this is dripping at the back, so I'm guessing it's something to do with condensation in the garage. Anyway, there's a lot of meat in here, as you can see. That's pheasant. We've got absolutely all sorts, chicken wings, all chicken things related. I'm going to be panning with some of the chicken, a couple of spare Yorkshire puddings. So I think, why don't we then pull out pork roast, sausages, see what else we've got. Mince down here. I'm conscious that we've got another freezer there as well, so I'm sorry, I bet that's really noisy on the camera, sorry about that. I'll use those Yorkshire puddings this week. And more pheasant. I keep everything that's the same in one bag so that I know what they are and I'm not scooping through. Now this is belly pork slices, which Stephen loves, I enjoy, but the kids don't. Ribs, we could have a ribs night later on in the week, but I won't get those out yet. Okay, they're all sausages in there. Don't make any more decisions. Let's have a look in this freezer too. I think I've got you straight on there now. Now, do you remember this? Just throw it in and you can use it. Well, everybody else has been in my freezers, understandably. And this has just got snapped and it's just turned into a right mess. So a few things that I did get in my Tesco order when we were getting so I've had Tesco order 3 times while this has been happening over the last few weeks. I've got leaf spinach, sliced leeks, butternut squash chunks, more leeks and peas. And I did have recipes in mind for those at the time. This will be, the leek spinach will be going in chicken soup and things like that. The leeks was for a recipe that I can't remember now. See, this is what happens when you just buy randomly. They'll get used. So, let's see what else I've got in here. That's chicken breasts. This is a tomato sauce, same as this one that I made. It's the Jamie Oliver's 7 veg sauce. Right, I've got 2 drumsticks there. I'm going to make a chicken broth and chicken soup with those. Got all sorts of venison going on down there. Let's just take this out. I'm not going to do that again. It does work, but when you're in charge of your freezers, it works. Everyone else has just come in and put things on top of it and it's snapped everywhere. Never mind, never mind. Okay, so that's more venison. Right, how many things have we got? We've got the pork chops, the sausages, the drumsticks for some soup. Right, that's a ham. So I'm going to get a ham out to do sandwiches for during the week. Right, that's a whole chicken. We haven't had a whole chicken dinner for ages, so we're going to have 2 dinners this week, as in roast dinners. And there's more Yorkshire puddings to go with them. Right, this is actually dog food. This is meat that I've cooked up and frozen that's for the dogs. That's chicken liver, I think. You use that for Christmas. Right, and there's a couple more drumsticks which will be perfect for the chicken soup. Ice cubes that fell out. Right, that's more dog food, so we'll get that used this week, otherwise it's just going to get lost in everything else. Right, and then they are all drumstick thighs and wings, which I'll use next week to make more soup. I need to start getting through those. These are frozen, obviously, beans from 2021. I'm going to start using those. I've got a bag full. There's small wings there that I'll put in the soup too, just for stock, and then the soup. I'll get the Yorkshire puddings out, they'll go straight in the oven when we're ready to use them. That is all I'm going to get out for now, so let's go and find some recipes that we can use this meat for. So I'm going to get back into this the only way that I know how. I've got my stuff set up on the table. I've got my files that I always keep files with recipes and ideas and all sorts of things in. So I've just pulled all of these out of the pantry because that's where I keep them, which Stephen laughs at. I would just keep them out on the countertops, but that doesn't go down too well. I can be quite chaotic when I start getting into lots of different ideas and things. So I'm going to start off with just a plain notebook and just start writing down what we've taken out of the freezers, which is sat next to you at the minute. I'll get that put in the fridge so it can defrost safely in the fridge. To be honest, I leave things out overnight on the counter if I just get them out for the same day. So what I'll do is I'll just literally write down what we've taken out of the freezers. I'll write down what I've got in the garden that's harvested, and I'll write down what I've got spare in the pantry. One thing I did buy in those Tesco's orders that I was talking to you about was noodles. I don't know why, but I just bought loads of noodles, dried. Some of the vac pack fresh ones, I'll show you them when we get to them, because I was planning on making chicken soup every day, because when something happens and somebody needs looking after, I kind of go into that mode of just cook them into health again, but unfortunately it couldn't be done this time. So I've still got loads of noodles there, so we'll incorporate those into the coming week's food as well, but they will be fine for ages. They're vac packed or dried, so they're not going to go off. So yeah, I'll get all of that written down, come up with some meals for the week. I'll also write in on the days what else we've got going on this week. So Monday, for example, I know the farrier's coming while I'm at work. I need to make sure I get cash out for him. You know, if we've got any appointments and things like that, or if the kids have got any after school things. Stephen is back to work tomorrow, so fingers crossed that goes okay. And I'm back into a normal working week, which is 3 days in the office, 2 days at home. So we'll all need packed lunches every day. I'll just have leftovers the days that I'm at home. And yeah, we just need to get organised and make sure that we're ready and set up for the week ahead. So something that I haven't been doing too well during this time is making sure that everything's organised and ready and the kitchen's put to bed on a night. We're organised and ready for the next day. I've just kind of been jumping from one thing to the next with no organisation or method, which is totally understandable. I know that, but it doesn't make me feel in a good space, in a good headspace. So I'm going to get all this done, write all that down, and then I'll show you what the end results are. And there was something else I was going to talk to you about. Oh yeah, so the other thing that's happened during all of this, do you remember me saying that our mortgage was coming to an end? The fixed rate was coming to an end. Well, that happened around Halloween. I think it was like a couple of days after that we could apply for our new mortgage, which doesn't take effect. So you could choose. You could either have it take effect at your new payments immediately, or you could wait until it actually expires, which is the end of January, so the 1st of February for us. And essentially with everything that's going on, we knew it was going to go up. We've gone from a really low percentage rate up to a really high one, basically, so only what everybody else would be getting if they were in the same position as us. I have decided, rightly or wrongly, to fix it for 10 years. Now that might be a direct result of what's been happening and the need for stability at the moment. Don't know if I've made the right decision or not. And it works out that, so without going into too much details, essentially we've got two parts to the mortgage, our old house and the addition that we took for this house. And it's about the same on both, basically. And so the other part of the mortgage doesn't expire until 2026. So we've got time to figure that out and to see if I've made the right or the wrong decision. To be honest though, Stephen and I know that we're going to have to stay and work for, you know, the foreseeable until that mortgage is paid off, and that's going to be 10 years in unfortunately. I would like, when that expires, to be in a position where the mortgage is paid off as it expires. So that's kind of a goal that's brewing in my mind, but that's a totally different day. So did I just say that works out at £200 a month? I don't think I did I? So it's a £200 a month increase, a few pennies different. Sorry, just a few pennies under £200, I mean. So we have to find from, I can't remember if it's January, it'll be February's pay, £200 extra a month, and that's in addition to the electricity going up as well. We aren't using any more electricity than we have been previously, but obviously there's been a new rate applied, and if we continue as we are as we go through the winter, then it should be going up about £50 or £60 a month, which is us really making an effort not to not to use any more. And actually we've cut back on all sorts of things. That's not just, you know, what it works out to be using our everyday stuff. We've really cut back as best we can there, so we'll keep an eye on that. So yeah, we're looking at, you know, £260 a month more, plus everything else from an inflation point of view, and our wages aren't going up to match that, same as everybody else. Anyway, we've got to deal with it. It is what it is. So we shall come back in a minute when I've got all this done. Right, I think we've got there. So, except for Sunday, I've got a meal for every day. And the reason I haven't got anything for Sunday is because I want to go back through some old videos of other people's and get some inspiration from there. Whatever I want to do, I'll probably have something in the freezer that we can use for it. Because I'll just, even if, for example, I do a chilli and it says beef mince, I'll use pork mince or turkey mince or whatever. So I'm fine with that. So what I've done, we've got the whole chicken, the pork joint, the tomato sauce, drumsticks and wings, sausages, ham, raw beans. I've written all those down and got ticks next to them because I've applied a meal against them. I've got brambles from the veg plot. We've only got a very small amount if you saw that video. Potatoes, herbs, kale, cabbages, apples. We've got the frozen leeks, peas, spinach and butternut squash from the freezer. I've got like 4 zillion eggs. Again, just haven't been staying on top of them, but we're going to use them. And I need to do lunches for every day. So what I've done is I've just come up with the meals, the evening meals for now, but also the breakfast. So really simple. Breakfasts this week are going to be egg based because we need to get through them, whether it's boiled eggs, whether it's poached eggs, bacon and eggs, egg sandwich, whatever it might needs to be. So I'll make sure the night before I ask everybody what they want, because on a morning it's just, you know, you get what you're given after that. Right, so Monday we're going to use the sausages in a tray bake along with the butternut squash, some of the potatoes, and then I'll throw in some other carrots and onions and all those good things. Could use some of the leeks in that. What I might do if I've got time today is go down to our bottom veg plot, which I haven't been down in ages, and see if any of the beetroot have survived. I have a feeling they'll have all been eaten by critters by now. Tuesday I'm at home, so Monday I'm in the office and I need to pack lunch. Tuesday I'm at home, everybody else needs a pack lunch, and that is going to be a chicken dinner. Then so that'll use the potatoes, the cabbages obviously, eat all the kale, you know, so that'll make a good use of that. On Wednesday, I'll use leftover chicken as well as the drumsticks and the wings to make a chicken soup. Now, I don't always like giving a soup for a main meal because I just sometimes feel as though it's not substantial enough, but chicken soup with noodles out of the, I didn't write noodles down, but we have used them, out of the pantry will be substantial. But I'm also going to do an apple pie with those brambles as well. So that'll either be apple pie or apple crumble with a few brambles thrown in. We can have, I think we've got custard in the pantry, there's cream in the fridge, things like that. So we'll get that used up. So that'll be a 2-course kind of a main and a pudding for Wednesday. We don't normally have a dessert or a pudding, whatever you want to call it. I'm in the office Wednesday as well. Thursday, I'm going to use the 7 veg sauce, Jamie Oliver sauce, and I'm going to do spaghetti bolognese, or just essentially use that as a spag bol sauce. Friday I'll use the pork joint, so I'll leave that in the fridge to defrost because it'll take a long time to get to defrost in the fridge like that. I'm going to do that with potatoes and cabbage, so it'll be roasties. Everybody will enjoy that. I might do mash. Well, to be fair, the kids prefer roasties at the moment. So that takes us to the weekend. Saturday I've got down a quiche written, and I don't know why I thought I'd done an evening meal for Saturday, but I haven't yet. So I'm going to do quiche to use up more of the eggs on Saturday, and then I'll figure out something as we go through the week for Saturday and Sunday. So I'm going to write up the menu board Monday to Friday, and then for the rest of the day, as I'm pottering about doing my other things, I'll have a think about what else I might like to do for the weekend. I definitely need to plan at the weekend because, as I said, that's where we fall off. So I'm going to write up the board now. The ham will be used for sandwiches, for salads, for lunches, for salads and sandwiches. And I'm also going to do a Scotch broth, so I need to get some lamb, diced lamb out of the freezer too. But what I'm going to do this week is bring you along for some of the meals that we're doing, which I haven't really been doing as much in the past as I wanted to. There'll probably only be a couple though, because bearing in mind it's Sunday and I'm releasing this on Wednesday, and then we'll catch up. Right, I've literally written out the list of things that I need in order to be able to pull these meals together this week. It's a really small list because obviously we need to start reining it back in again. I want to make sure that we use everything that we've got at the house first and foremost. So again, I'm not sure exactly what I've got down the bottom plot, but I will go down there later today and have a look. But for now, I've got my list. I'll try and pop it on the screen if I can. I'm going to head to Aldi. It's just about to open in 10 minutes time. And it only takes me 10 minutes or so to get there, so hopefully it won't be too busy and it won't be too traumatic. But I'm really pleased with the list that I've got, and I hope you enjoy seeing what we cook this week. and seeing how the next few weeks pan out. I'll keep you posted, but for now, I guess you'll see what's coming. You'll see what I've bought in Aldi when I get back, and we'll get into what the meals of the week are. Today is Sunday, as I said, and I'm actually just doing a really quick cheats lasagna today. So I'll show you that later. I'm sure everybody knows how to make a lasagna using jars. It's hardly something that I want to be shouting from the rooftops as a from scratch meal, because it's certainly not. But yeah, that's what's going to be later today. Well, this is the haul that I've come back with, and it just goes to show when you don't prepare too well in advance. So I did write my list, but I didn't write how much everything was going to be. And this came in at £26.16, so I've gone over £1.16, which, to be honest, I'm okay with, but I need to learn from. So basically, everything on here except the, I got an additional watercress, spinach and rocket, because I've been reading about the nutritional value of the watercress and the rocket. I probably just should have not got that, but anyway. I also got some chicken granules, which I forgot to put on my list, and I got some chocolate because the kids have actually eaten the chocolate that I got for doing cookies with. They did have other things that the grandparents had brought them, but they decided to eat that instead. I got 2 juice instead of, I would have just got 1, but I just thought the kids like 1 each. Anyway, I just got 2. All of the rest, I think, was on the list. I got 3 milks, but I did notice that everything seems to have gone up again since I've been there in the last few weeks. So I will go through the receipts, and I'll probably tell you as we get into cooking the next meals and things like that what the differences were. I got the pastry, which yes, I could have made myself, but just in case, you know, we're still getting back into things, trying to be a little bit gentle. So it doesn't look like much for £26, but that's it for now, and we will catch up shortly when I start making our meals for later. Speak, Annie. Flipper, Annie. It's all gone. It's all gone. Oh, hello, Trouble. Hello, Trouble. Back in front of the fire. Welcome to Monday night. So I wanted to get home tonight before it got dark. That didn't happen because I've literally not been home that long and it is already pitch black. I wanted to go down and get those beetroot that we talked about because I didn't get to them yesterday, and I'm not going to go down with a head torch tonight. We don't need them that much. So instead, I've got some sweet potatoes from the pantry that I had for a different recipe, but we're going to use those, and we're just going to add those into the sausage tray bake that I'm doing. So I've got 1 pack of sausages, I've chopped up a load of veg, and I'm literally just going to put a bit of oil on, a bit of seasoning, and just get it straight into the Arga because it's later than I anticipated. Had a few problems with work today, as in work problems, not work causing me problems, that I needed to sort out. And so yeah, everything's just running that little bit behind. It would have been a perfect night to take something off the shelf and use one of my pressure canned meals, but as you know, we don't have any more of those at the minute. And to be honest, it takes no time just to chop the veg up and just shove it straight in the Arga. It takes care of itself. This that you can see in the background is me not using the tumble dryer, so it's actually completely broken. But I was trying not to use it from an electricity use point of view, but now the decision has been taken away from me. This is just a clothes horse that Stephen made, and what I do is the Arga, this oven here, in case you don't know what the Arga is on permanently throughout the winter. So she's literally, they're designed to be on all of the time for the type that we've got anyway. So what I'm trying to get into the habit of is getting some clothes washed as soon as I get up on a morning and popping them on the airer in front of the Arga during the day, so that they can be dry when I get home. Now, these guys here are going to be fine. It just sat out for 10 minutes or so because I'm not cooking on the top, so there's not going to be any cooking smells or anything. So I've just got time to get these veggies and the sausages whipped straight into the oven, and then I can take care of those clothes as well. But let me quickly show you what we've got. So these veg peelings here will be kept to go into the compost. So we've got a few sweet potatoes, some broccoli, some red onion, some carrots, some leftover crinkly red pepper that I've got, a few bendy parsnips. This is the pack of sausages. These are actually some cheese rolls that we bought, and they have gone mouldy, as you can see, so we'll just cut the mould off and the chickens will be happy with those. And I'm just going to throw in some whole mushrooms as well, and all of that just goes straight into a big, I haven't got the roasting dish out, drizzle with oil, coat it all, salt and pepper, and Bob's your uncle. This is always one of my favourite looking teas, or dinners as some people call it. I've chopped up the broccoli stems, they're going in as well, and the mushrooms I'm just literally going to throw on top. I haven't drizzled those in oil. I've put oil on the bottom, and I'll drizzle the oil across the top now, and then I'll just give it a stir before I get it into the Arga, and then I'll stir it probably in maybe 20-25 minutes. Welcome to Tuesday, and tonight it is a roast chicken dinner, and unfortunately I've overcooked the chicken. You might have seen that on the Instagram stories, but it'll still be perfectly fine. And I'm also cheating and making Bisto gravy. We don't normally have Bisto because Aldi don't sell it, but it was on offer in Tesco when I was in there in one of the previous shops, so we got some. So I'm literally just about to get served up. So I've got the veg, I've cooked all of the veg. Let me turn you around. I've just done all of the veg in one pan tonight, apart from the potatoes obviously. So I'm literally just about to mash these up. We'll get some of the chicken off and I'll just serve it individually. And I've just made some really thick gravy, and that is tonight's chicken dinner. Oh, but I did remember those Yorkshire puddings out of the freezer, so that is one nice thing in the freezer tonight, and I'll show you what this looks like when it's served up. Well, that was a really nice roast dinner, and we've got all cleared up, but not the pots done, so the kitchen's all nice and tidy. And I've got some chicken left over that we will use in tomorrow's soup recipe. I'll put that on next week's video because I want to get this one wrapped up so I can edit it and get it out to you guys. What I've just done now, I've just posted this on Instagram. I've got our towels from upstairs because they're still damp from last night, believe it or not. And so we always get a shower just before we go to bed, get into bed nice and clean. And when we've got the heating on in the winter, normally there's a towel rail that we put into our bathroom, and that obviously just dries the towels ready for when we go in the shower again. And I know these are first world problems, but it is the reality at the moment. And because the towels aren't drying, because we're simply just not putting the heating on, we've obviously got the Arga that's on permanently. She's always on over the winter, as I said. And we do have log burners, so it's not like we're going to go freezing or anything. But what I'm doing is just drying the towels out on the top of the Arga. I won't leave them on there for too long because they will burn. So I only do it when I'm at home and I can keep an eye on it. Obviously, I've got to be safe. So they're on there to get dry before we go and get a shower. And it's just little things like that. Putting the clothes in front of the Arga to dry, or in front of the wood burner if that's been on, that we're just hoping that will help out with the electricity bill, keep the costs down. I'm putting lots of fairy twinkle lights everywhere, so we're not paying a fortune for lights as well. Well, to be fair, we have all LED lights now in the house, so the lighting is not something that really costs a fortune. It's anything that's a heat drawing appliance, as we probably all know. But they've also just announced today, Stephen's just been telling me that council tax is going to be going up. So that's something to look forward to next year as well. So we've got the mortgage in January, or February's pay, and then it's going to be the council tax probably, I'm assuming, in the March, April. We pay like 10 months and you get 2 months break off, but you pay for that obviously in the 10 months. Anyway, I'm not going to start getting into that now. Let's wait and see what comes out of that. Tighten our belts a bit more, keep tightening. I'm going to catch you all later. I'm going to go edit this video now. Thank you for watching. It's been a heck of a long ramble of a video, I'm fully aware. If you've got this far, I appreciate it. Take care. Bye for now.